And most of the people that come here in those buses are Christians. And, you know, to me it was very surprising to discover when I became a tour guide about 10 years ago, because what is it to Christians? You know, it's a story about mass suicide. About 960 people 2,000 years ago in the war of the Jews against the Romans. But why did it become such a favorable Christian site? You know, especially, I can't count the times that we were brought here. Go ahead.
Years ago, there was a mini-series called Masada, and they talk about how the Romans' 10th legion pursued Eleazar and the rest of the Jews all the way here. And it's just something that I guess it resonated with the audience because it was a highly, a lot of people saw it, and so a lot of people know about the story of Masada, that was their last stand. And they
so you're saying it's ABC?
ABC, American Broadcasting Company.
Yeah, of course, and maybe National Geographic. Yeah, so that is the American Carpet. When I first climbed the mountain after many years, I didn't do it. You know, the custom was to do it before sunrise, and you would see the sunrise from the top. So we were climbing up the serpent path, but up on top I was blown away to see that it was packed with people that came from the other entrance from the west. You know, Koreans. The Japanese, what is it to them? So again, the story of Masada is fascinating, but to me, and you're stuck with me, it's also the story of how the myth became so strong in our times today. What did it stand for, and is it still the same as it used to be? And of course, my answer is not at all. But I can't count the times that we were brought here as children, and they with the school and with the youth movement and with our families, and then when I was doing my service, I brought soldiers here, and it was all about getting up and seeing the sunrise and talking about their heroism and their pride and their staunch resistance to the Romans and how they preferred to die free and not be enslaved or raped. You know, that's a great story. And then somehow it faded. You know, people came here to do their bar mitzvahs, and soldiers were brought here, you know, at the end of the journey to take their vows to the state of Israel and to their service. And that doesn't happen anymore. So again, only with some Jewish American kids that come after bar mitzvahs here. So it is an interesting story, but the question is also, why was it such a strong slogan? I remember, you know, Masada will not fall again. Was a very strong slogan, okay, about Israel. Okay, we were the second Masada that will not fall again. Okay, so the question is, why did that story from 2,000 years ago become so relevant to beyond Israel? What is happening with that story today? So you can see some of the artifacts that were found around here. In Masada, of course, in the excavations, because it was never lost. It was very